Hi there fellow artists and students. In today's tutorial I'll show you two fantastic methods for drawing a seated female figure. First up, we'll look into the Andrew Loomis system of measurement and proportion for the figure, and then after that I'll introduce the grid system, a very handy tool. It will help to enhance your drawing skills. So stick around for some insights into both methods. So here's some of the, I thought I'd introduce some of the equipment that I use. This is Manga paper. You can buy it anywhere in local stores. It's 135 GSM and it's a very, very smooth paper to draw on. Very enjoyable. Various erasers that I use, including the Tombow Mono Zero, which is very good for fine detail. The 0.3 mechanical pencil, fantastic for practicing your drawing. And various brushes too, which are beautiful brushes, very inexpensive. About 600 yen or $6. So it's amazing. The quality is fantastic. I've also got other Japanese brushes which I use. So all in all, I'm using equipment which is inexpensive but very very good quality. So we'll start to get into the video now. So here we're starting our figure, and the Loomis system uses a system where the head is the unit of measure. So it makes things easier. So in the seated figure, it's about 6.5 heads, 4 down to from the top of the head to the seat, and 2 down to her feet. So the legs, two heads in that case. So Loomis's system is fantastic, but he does tend to idealize figures because he's primarily an illustrator who does very glamorous, or did I should say, very glamorous women, and they're 8 heads proportion when standing, which is too much. It's not natural. So I usually do it down to about not 6.5 heads, but about 6 heads really. And you can see this drawing is very loose. It's not. The idea is not to try to fix on one thing and finish one thing at a time. You just move around the drawing, and if you follow the system, you'll get it right. So I really recommend reading the Loomis books. There's 4 or 5 books that are very worthwhile. I think they're newly available too. Some British publishers take them on, and they're not too hard to get it through Amazon, obviously. So anyway, we just we don't want to rush drawing and get it finished, and you just take your time and keep it really loose. That way you're checking and double checking. Now, apart from the Loomis system, I've also drawn a grid. It's done in light blue. There's a reason for that. If any of you have done any publishing of your works, the light blue doesn't show up in the printing process. But I draw the grid on a rectangle. I always use this formula of 5:4. That ratio is a very pleasing ratio. So this is 17.5 centimeters by 14 centimeters, and the beauty of it is you can easily divide it into thirds. Now the advantage of dividing it into thirds is that, one, it's very pleasing to the eye. It's very good composition strategy, so you'll find that you'll composition and color schemes will be should be quite pleasing to the eye because of that division into thirds. And the other more practical reason that I like this grid, I don't like it too tight a grid or too many squares. I think it defeats the purpose of learning to draw. But you can repeat this many times and on a smaller scale, and then when you're really happy with the color scheme, the design, the placement of all of the figures, then you can draw up to a much larger picture suitable for publishing. So we see that by working around the drawing, not focusing on any one particular spot, we can start to see it. It gradually comes together, and the thing is that it's correct. The proportions with Loomis's method are excellent. So he's obviously worked out quite a lot of design and drawing skills. So apart from using the Loomis system, which is a general sort of system in this case, and apart from using that grid system, you'll see as I draw that I'm using vertical lines sometimes to go straight up from a part that I might be drawing and straight up to the head, and see how it relates to the head. How far out is her knee, for example? How far out is that from her head? So you just do a vertical line and it works every time. And likewise, you can use horizontal lines in the same way. I'm just putting in some facial features here. I'm not really concerned with likeness or anything like that, just so it's not a blank face. But in this kind of drawing, don't concern yourself with prettiness and elegant lines. Be a bit rough, and you'll see it starts to come together. And already we can see we've got her placed nicely. And something I like to do also is I like to not just draw a figure, but also make it into a little story. So I often play around with the background. But the picture's working. You can see that she is sitting on that seat. There's no doubt, and her proportions are right. So this is so pleasing. It makes you feel so happy when you get this, when you get the pose just right. It's a wonderful feeling, and it's always thrilling when it starts to work. So and we've all done it. We try to make a drawing that's look good, but it's not right. The proportions, placement, etc. It's not right, and it's not a good feeling. But when you follow these kind of ideas and these skills in drawing, it will thrill you. You'll be so happy because you got it right. You feel you can enjoy then doing all the details and all the polishing up of the picture. So I'll come back towards the end, and I'll just talk about some of the other elements that I've done in the picture. So please watch and enjoy. Thank you. Well, we've come close to the end. I hope you enjoyed the little storytelling episode. It was done in 1 point perspective. I couldn't decide whether I'd make it 2 point or 1 point, but I finished up using the 1 point perspective. Very simple system, very easy to do, and I'll be making lots of videos on perspective as we go. So I just want to reiterate that if you follow these two systems and others, of course, but the Loomis system of proportions it's just an excellent system, and we have it for all positions, all poses. So it's very, very useful. I'll be dealing more and more with more and more videos on this topic. And I can't stress enough that the grid system, when you're starting off drawing, after a while you get a little grid in your brain that you don't need it anymore, because you can actually see it. You can almost imprint that grid on any subject matter that you're looking at. And one important thing about the grid system too is that it's easy to keep reproducing drawings, the same drawing. You can check out the composition and the color scheme, and it's really great for creativity, because you go into because you've solved all the problems of composition and color scheme, you're free to go into the more creative side of things, if you like. So thank you very much for watching the video, and please subscribe to my channel, and please, if you could, leave a comment of some kind, which might give us a bit of feedback as to what more I can do for you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.